Hi, welcome to your reading, and today's guidance is via the cards for you. And your first card is the Five of Wands. And this doesn't want to focus, so let's just focus that in for you. Doesn't like that, does it? Conflict, clash of egos and fights. So I'm going to go past, present and future. I feel like this is you with the bat. Whether you're male, female, however you identify, this is you. You've had to really show people the door. You've had to give them a really good talking to, just to let them know exactly where they stand in your world now, because you're not the person that you used to be, and you are starting to stand up for yourself, and you are understanding that you don't have to put up with what you were putting up with, or what you have put up with all of your life, more or less. I think that now you're really finding your feet, and you're not worried about telling people this is where my boundaries lie now, even if it causes a bit of conflict, even if, you know, somebody might look at you and say, well, you're supposed to be spiritual, why are you standing there with the bat in your hand? And you're like, you caused me to pick this bat up to show you how far I'm going to allow you to push me. So if you don't like it, then, you know, don't come at me with that attitude yourself. And I don't feel like you would obviously use that bat, but I feel like you are having to be a lot stronger in your will, and a lot firmer with certain people, being able to not be nasty, but firm enough to let them understand that actually you've definitely overstepped the line with me, and you've done it enough times for me now to be able to just say, I'm not having this anymore. You know, you need to sort yourself out. This is not my problem. You're the person who's causing the conflict, and I'm not allowing this in my world anymore. So you either change your attitude, or there's the door. So I feel like this is definitely massive progress as well on your behalf. So well done for actually learning to properly stand up for yourself. Your second card is Justice. This doesn't really want to focus very well either, so it's interesting. Cause and effect, truth, get what's deserved. Doesn't look like a very nice card again. But I feel as though you've had to kind of create your own, what's the word? I feel like it is your own system, your own way of being justified in what you're saying, and also your own, I feel like if you were putting people in front of you to kind of, as if they're standing there and you're sentencing them, okay? Because for too long you have let them overstep the mark, and you have allowed them to get away with it. So now when you bring them in front of you and make them stand accountable for their actions, this is what's changing. And you are bringing out the truth, and you are getting what you deserve by way of making these people start to understand how to become accountable for their own actions. Sounds pretty heavy, this reading, so I'm hoping the next card is going to be a little bit lighter. But I do feel you've had a lot, you've gone through a lot, and you've had to really, you know, I think if this was a proper court system, you'd have a lot of people coming through in front of you, because I do feel like there's a lot of people you need to and make them understand that you're not playing anymore. You're not putting up with it, and they are going to have to at some point face what they've put you through. You know, face the consequences of it. And it's not necessarily that you're going to teach them that lesson, because I feel like what goes around comes around. Something will teach them eventually, but what you're definitely doing is laying the foundations now of nobody walks across my threshold and puts me into any kind of a disturbed energy anymore. You're not allowing that. Okay, so your last card is the Hermit, and you've got soul searching, solitude, and contemplation. So I think this is really another part of your journey, is knowing when to kind of just retreat, when to just let people get on with it, and you kind of focus more on yourself, focus on what you're learning, focus on what is important for you, focus on your own soul, how to build up your own inner strength, and not to be too affected by all of this. I feel like you've learned that solitude and just being within your own company and having your own peace is what really helps you to re-ground yourself, re-center, and like I said, you've learned so much about having to become judge and jury, and maybe it's taken quite a lot of your energy as well. You know, you're probably thinking, I shouldn't have to keep doing this, but you do keep going through it, and you do keep, you know, having to put people into their place within your I want to say, like, within the story of your life. So it will have made you feel like you possibly don't really want to deal with a lot of people anymore. The solitude, the contemplation is like, if this is what people are like, if it's going to be constant lessons, then I'd rather just keep myself to myself, not have to contact or, you know, be in a relationship even. I feel like, you know, you're questioning, actually, do I really need to be with somebody else? Am I better off on my own? So I think you will find your answer, and you will do the thing that's right for you. But I want to say, it may not be forever. This is just a point in your life where you're going through a chapter of learning to fend for yourself, learning to do everything for yourself, learning not to trust everybody, and also recognizing energies that are good for you, and recognizing, more importantly, the ones that aren't good for you, that aren't serving you any purpose anymore as well, that are constantly putting you through the ringer, or, you know, testing you, and, you know, taking like valuable energy from you. So that's why I feel like the solitude, why I feel like you're quite happy now to just maybe sit and teach yourself things, you know, not necessarily do a 9-to-5 job, but learn at your own pace, in your own environment, and just being happy really, without other people interfering. And I hope this reading helps today, but I do just want to say, if this is you and you've been through a lot and you are feeling like you want the solitude, I have noticed that I was drawn to put the backlight on here in blue today. So to me, that's your throat chakra. I've also got blue nail varnish, so that's showing me that I do feel as though, even if you're feeling you need to be in solitude, you do still need to connect with people, because I think it's part of your journey and how you're going to help other people. So try not to hold yourself away in the darkness for too long, you know, soul searching, because there are people that actually need you to help them through things that you've been through. Don't forget that. Take care.